But here's a question, just because and I know people have like their beliefs in SNL, and if they love it, they hate it, whatever. But the SNL 50th anniversary just took place Sunday night. But I'm just curious, and not the character they play, but like, who are some of your favorite cast members of all time? And I've said to you, we talked about this beforehand, this show has like churned out celebrities and superstars one after another. There are so many people I didn't even realize were on the show back in the day that have become like legendary actors and actresses. But who are some of your favorite cast members of all time?
Adam Sandler is number one of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Nealon,
great Weekend Update host too.
Weekend Update.
Yep.
Elf guy.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Yep. I had him as number one on my list.
Was he really?
Yeah, just if I was picking, I think like that's the thing that sticks out. You know, Will Ferrell, like everything he was in, you laughed at. You know,
Farley,
yes.
You can't.
Yeah, so good.
David Spade
wouldn't be in my top 20, but he's good.
Okay. Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
Yep, for sure.
Yes. Here's a good question Joe asked. Who had the best post SNL career?
It's got to be Adam Sandler. Like money wise, it's Adam Sandler.
I think you're probably right. I think that's probably. What about Chevy Chase though? What about who else was on? Bill Murray was on the show. What about I mean, he was only on it for 1 year, but like Billy Crystal, you know, like guys and girls we don't even like think about that were like, you know, original cast members or in that first 10 years. Eddie Murphy's another one. It's like that guy's had an enormous career. But if we were talking just straight up money wise, it might be Adam Sandler. Yeah. Just because
what were the two girls that did Baby Mama? Kristen Wiig.
Oh, they played sisters.
Yeah, what the heck was that? Kristen Wiig is amazing.
Kristen Wiig, Amy Poehler. Okay.
Absolutely. Those two.
And then Tina Fey was real big too.
Oh, yeah.
Tina Fey was like one of the main writers. So, I mean, how about this? Who's your favorite female cast member of all time? You named a couple of them.
All right. So I was crazy. So who was the superstar girl?
Oh, Shannon.
Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon.
She was really good.
Okay.
She was funny to sort of like a method actress type of level. And then Amy Poehler.
Yeah. And she did Weekend Update too. She did really good. She was with like Seth Meyers, but then with Tina Fey. And they did like some movies off of that too. They did like Mean Girls, and they did Sisters, I think, which took place in Florida. So that was good.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. didn't even register. He was on the show. That's pretty amazing. My top 5 real quick off the top, like Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, Eddie Murphy but like Eddie Murphy was like before my time, but I'm like, he was on the show and he's just so good. Chris Farley. And then I loved Phil Hartman.
Yes.
And that was a guy that was like gone before his time.
For sure.
And sad circumstances there, but like that guy was awesome. It was so good. But you know, like there's so many people there's almost more people you forget than, you know, like Mike Myers, Dana Carvey. Like there's
I'll bring up the list. Kenan Thompson.
So I saw Kenan Thompson. I didn't realize this. So 50 years. So Kenan Thompson has been on the show for 23 years. 23 years. That kid, he's like, I think he's like my age because I remember him in Nickelodeon shows when I was growing up, and we're roughly the same age. So do you want? I'll give you my. Another guy that doesn't get a whole lot of credit that is awesome. But I just heard this horror story about him today. Is Bill Hader? Do you know who Bill Hader is?
I do.
And he had a show on HBO called Barry. But he had anxiety so bad when he was on SNL because of like Lorne Michaels and the just the pressure to perform under that show. So
here's the official top 10 or 20 list of SNL.
Okay.
Chevy Chase, which you mentioned.
Okay.
Bill Murray.
You can't go wrong with
Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Elaine from Seinfeld. She's horrible there too.
Martin Short. We didn't even mention him. Like
I don't love Martin Short. I just don't. But I get why people like him. Anyway.
Mike Myers, dude, we totally missed Mike Myers.
Mike Myers,
dude, made a lot of money off of this SNL.
Yeah, and I mean, he had obviously Wayne's World, but he had like the Coffee Talk lady, and I mean, he's done so much stuff. So,
and he had a whole series about the spy.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers,
yeah,
right?
Powers.
Then we had Chris Rock.
Keep your damn mouth, my name out of your mouth. Chris Rock. Do you think most people know him now from SNL, or most people know him from stand up, or most people know him from getting slapped by Will Smith?
Getting slapped by Will Smith. It's terrible.
But he is such a good comedian, though.
Tina Fey,
Adam Sandler, Tina Fey,
Amy Poehler, Will Ferrell, Tracy Morgan. He was a funny dude.
Here's a random fact. Did you know Tracy Morgan's mother is from Youngstown, Ohio?
I did not.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon.
Your thoughts on Jimmy Fallon? I really like Jimmy Fallon. He would always break. You know what I mean? He would always, and like, I think if I was on cast, like the cowbell scene, there was a Disney World scene.
But his co-stars, like if I were put in that position, I'd break too. They were too funny.
I agree. He's good. Maya Rudolph's really good.
Oh, dude. Idiocracy, one of my favorite movies of all time.
I've never seen that. I gotta check
what?
That out. Yeah, I don't know it.
What?
Yeah.
Seth Meyers is a goon. Like he ruined everything for me.
Yeah. I don't love Seth Meyers stand-up and stuff. Seth Meyers, I've heard, is possible replacement for Lorne Michaels when he's out.
Dude, I will be so disappointed.
Oh wait, go back up a little bit. One more. Fred Armisen. Fred Armisen's hilarious.
Hilarious.
Go ahead. Keenan,
Kim Thompson, we mentioned. Kristen Wiig, we mentioned. Andy Samberg, yes.
So good.
We totally missed him.
So good. Yeah. There's some really good stuff on there.
Top 20 of SNL. That's royalty.
It's hard, and like you forget, like people like Jason Sudeikis were on that show, and like it's just so good. So
and honestly, it played such a role in my young life.
Yes.
Where every Saturday I freaking watched that show.
Yeah, and it's like I feel the same way. It was like I feel like in high school, especially in some of my college years, you know, it's like that's a show you kind of like, even if you were like out at a party or like doing something, it was like you would like plan to come home and like watch SNL, or it was like kind of more appointment viewing then. Now I feel like if I watch SNL, it's like on Sunday morning, I'll watch some clips here and there. I don't watch the whole thing.
They politicized it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you host a party and you have all of your friends over, right?
Yeah.
And
keep going.
You have that one douchebag that no matter what happens, they show up and they try to sell you their multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, right?
Yeah.
That is Saturday Night Live. When they get political and they take a persuasion, it ruins the funny, and they're 5% funny and 95%, activism.
Sure.
And I freaking hate that. Where if you lampoon everyone,
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing. Like, keep going.
Go ahead.
No.
Share.
I'm enjoying hearing your thoughts on this.
Yes, right. But you would, even if that person was awesome, when they come to the party and decide to like take advantage of the viewership to throw out what they want you to buy, that's where they ruin it for me.
Yeah, and I agree. Like you don't. There's a place for comedy and politics, and there's a place for, like no matter what, though, Biden and Donald Trump are such easy targets to make fun of. They are they just like build in their own humor, like where it's like you don't even have to write stuff. It's just like you literally just have to do stuff. But I get it on like the political, where sometimes they take like an agenda too far.
Yeah,
totally agree.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you watch one person that they should be lampooning, and somehow they're laying down cover fire, and that's where they ruin it for me. Where they take a political angle on it, and I hate that.
I agree. So
make fun of everybody.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that.